Share my screen. Okay, hey, we're live. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Esme Gregg, and this is Soul Talks with Esme. I hope you can see my screen. So, let's see. Today's topic is going to be about how to heal our inner child. And before we get started and before I introduce our special guest, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here live. And thank you for those that are watching the replay. So we appreciate you being here and sharing this link and making comments. And please do ask questions. We'll try to get to them at the end. So let me tell you about what Soul Talks with Esme is about. It's a show that basically I just wanted a way to share high conscious topics with friends and people that are ready to share their story. And we just want to share and help beautiful souls like you to grow and to heal and consciously move forward in our journeys in this happy evolution. So this is our second episode, and our special guest today is Martha Salas. She is a life coach, a best-selling author, an energy worker, and like I said, our topic today is how to heal our inner child. And I'm trying to figure all of this out as we go. Did I not share the screen?
You did.
You could see it? Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, there you are. Hello, everybody. Okay. So welcome, Martha.
Thank you, dear Esme. I'm actually in two places at once because I was tuning in live on my phone. And here I am with you. So thank you so much.
And let me introduce you. I haven't introduced you formally. Sorry, I'm doing technical things here. And you did share with your group, right? So share while I introduce you. Okay, guys. So let me tell you about Martha, and tell me if you can hear me. I hope my sound is a lot better. So Martha is a school counselor during day, and she's awesome. That's her trade. And she has a passion for spiritual evolution and transformation. She's a certified life coach and energy worker. She integrates a variety of tools, so cool, like access consciousness, EFT, Reiki, sacred geometry, crystals, essential oils. And also she uses her intuition to help others create a life they love. Martha is going to tell us about the book that she's a bestseller co-author in that I participated in also. And she's going to share with us her story in the Trailblazers book. So we'll talk more about that. So I'm just so happy that Martha is here. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, everybody. I see your comments.
Thank you, Esme. I am super excited to be here with you. I was tuning in live last week when you and Zion had the first Soul Talk conversation, and it was amazing. I felt like I was part of it. I was like texting and sending messages to you all, and it's just a beautiful thing that you are doing. I am super proud of you for embarking on this journey, and I am very honored to be part of it as well. And I just knew I wanted to be a part of it when, you know, your debut last last week. And so here we are, and I'm truly blessed, and let's have some fun.
Yes, let's have some fun. And I'm so,
Yay.
and obviously you were like an obvious second guest because Zion was our first guest. And we talked about you and so much and how we met. So
Uh-huh.
and let me check. I may kind of just check here our comments so we can say hi.
Yes. So while you're checking, I was just going to say that the cycle repeats again because, yes, so you and Zion kind of connected first on our journey to, when we did the intuition training together. And I jumped on that Facebook post that I think you had posted. And you both were talking back and forth how you're both from Houston. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be there in Houston. So I jump in like, hey, I'm part of y'all's group. And so that's how it kind of happened, the connection. But yes, and just to kind of refer back to what you and Sion were talking about last week, it was like we had known each other for like forever. It wasn't the first time. Well, we know we've been together before, but in this lifetime, it didn't seem like the first time that we, connected with one another. So it was awesome. It was a blast and it was amazing. And like I said, last week was the new year, right? The first day of the new galactic year. So that was super exciting. So what I did, I hope you're okay with me starting with this. So I went into my little galactic calendar and I figured out, okay, so what is our day today? Like what's the symbolism for the day today? And so basically the galactic calendar is ancient Mayan wisdom. And so each day has its signature. It's a galactic signature. And so it's like an archetype. So it's an energy that we're all working with, as a collective. So today is called the White Solar World Bridger. And this morning, while I was reading what, the significance of the archetype, I really got chills because it's like so relevant. And of course, and it's like every day that I look at it, it's amazing because it's always so on point with what's happening that day. So let me share a little bit about what the theme of the day is. It's all about death and opportunity. And so it's basically a bridge between the seen and the unseen, right? Life and death.
Cool.
And yes, and it's like the agent of connectivity. So how do we connect that? And it's a holder of the cycles, right? Holder of the cycles. So the energies of this day gives us the capacity to receive death as a cycle, right? And as an opportunity for a new phase, right? A new opportunity for us. And it also gives us a capacity to walk in this world as a living link of our ancestors.
Wow.
So how amazing and how on
Magic.
point, right? Yes, truly magical. So the question of the day is, how can we honor the reality of death in all of its facets as a sacred ally of life? So
Wow.
beautiful. So yes, and our theme today really is about releasing, right, and letting go and cleansing. And of course, in divine timing, tomorrow is a full moon. And the full moon energy is all about that, right? Of releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves us. So beautiful, beautiful. I thought it was just on point, right?
So cool. And you guys, like I don't think an hour show is going to be enough with Martha. So let me just say hi to everybody that's here live. We have friends in London. Hey, Viraj, thanks for being here. And Anisha, Olivia, thank you. Hey, Sion, I see you. Let me scroll up. Anisha's asking if that's your specialty, but I don't know. I think she has many specialties. What is your specialty, Martha?
Well, that's a good question. Yes, it's just, well, right now, like I'm a school counselor, right? So that's what I do most of the time by day, and then by night,
You're
right?
magical.
So I'm magical. Yeah. So I put on my different hat, right, and different coat. But I would say I do pull from a lot of different modalities. So right now, through sharing of my story, you'll see how it came about that I was so became so interested, right, in the inner child and doing that type of work. So but anything that has to do with emotional healing, anything that has to do with energetic healing, that is, and I'm a student. I'll be a lifelong student. I'm always learning and growing different modalities. But yeah, that's part of, I think that really was, it's part of my journey. So that's why I kind of, have embraced that,
That's
fully
awesome.
embraced that. Yes.
Yeah, you guys, like seriously, Martha knows so much. Like she's like a library with all these things. So today's topic. Oh, Corey is here. Hi, Corey. One of
Hi,
our
Corey. And hi,
magical.
Zion. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Sujan. Sujan will be my guest next week. So I'm excited about
Oh,
that.
yay.
He's gonna talk to us about mindfulness. So tune in on Saturday to watch Sujan. Now that I remember. Okay. So let's go and talk about a little bit about your story and how your childhood wounds, how later in adulthood you connected, or you really, I don't know, I'll say you felt empowered enough to really dig deep and look at those wounds that you had hidden since childhood, and that's what your story is about. So, and then after that, you really started your spiritual healing, right? I mean, you were pretty happy, but you had that wound from childhood, and this is what you wrote about in the Trailblazers book, and how basically the book is about the story of 27 women, how we all used. Oh, there you have it.
Where is it?
Bring it closer. Yeah, there it is. Is it 27? Yeah, 27 women.
Yes.
So Martha and I, we each wrote a chapter along with other 25 women, and how we used our life and our troubles and whatever it is that we went through, and how we used that to become guides and help others. So tell us about your story, and then how that connects to healing our inner child.
Yes. And so my life, and I think that's true for all of us, right? Like our lives are a healing journey. Basically, it's a journey of unfolding. And I know through writing the book and through sharing my story, it was the first time I actually shared the story, and the story specifically of grief, right, in my life. And so it was very, very healing for me. So it really helped on my journey. So basically the story is a journey of truly remembering who I am, truly embracing that we are multidimensional beings, right? That we are spiritual beings, that we're having this human experience. We're not just human, right? We are spiritual beings. We are so much more than, our physical realm, that what we know as to be human. And so the journey that I talk about, right, is my journey from feeling deep grief and just a feeling of disconnection and feeling separate, feeling like I was all alone, to really remembering my wholeness and really embracing that and embodying my, divine connection, right, to divine and to all, to source, to everyone and everything, right? So do you want me to define the inner child first before we get into the story?
Yes,
Because
yes.
so that we can.
And we have some friends saying hi. Jonda Watson, hi. Thanks for
Hi,
being here.
Jonda.
And Hope Alonso is saying hi, Martha.
Hi, Hope.
And some people are saying yes. So
Yay!
guys,
Awesome.
keep going. So tell us, give us a definition of how you feel inner child. what inner child is, and so we can continue. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So, and I wrote some notes on that because I was like, okay, well, and our inner child holds all the magic, all our magic, the wonder, the curiosity, right? The fun, the purity. And so that is we want to get connected to that, right? We want to connect to that. But our inner child also, it's kind of like it's a part of us, right? But it's a part of our subconscious mind where we hold all of our emotional trauma or anything that happened to us in childhood, right? Before our, teenage years. So and not only trauma and, events that might have happened to us, but also conclusions that we drew as children, and if you've studied, anything about children, is we're like sponges, right? When we're children, so we take and we're like the center of the universe. So anything that happens, good or bad, it's like, it's my, I did that, right? Like I made that happen, or it's my fault, because
And
as children,
we're just absorbing everything.
yes, exactly. So any conclusion that we might have drawn, whether a lot of it is false, sometimes it's false. We might have felt like, my parents didn't love me, or they loved my siblings more, whatever. And that might not be true, but it was true to us at that age. So all of that is held, in our subconscious mind. And so all that trauma, anything that we repress, right? It's there. And it's kind of like, it's like frozen in time. It's there, right? And I remember reading this book called um, Emotions Buried Alive Never Die, or actually Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. And it's so true. Like, we have to process those feelings, right? So if we don't process them, they stay there. And so that's what our inner child is, right? So it is us, it's us, right? It's a part of us, but it's that part of us in childhood that has that unmet need, right? And those, whatever trauma that might have happened, any separation, in my case, the biggest thing was the grief. So all of that gets in there. And so it's part of our subconscious. And if we know anything about that, which we know, and I know a lot of, people that are attracted to this type of work, our subconscious mind basically runs our life, right? The majority of our programming, our beliefs come from the subconscious mind. So we live our life from that energy. So if we have to go there, we have to go to the inner child, energies, and heal whatever needs to be healed there in order for us to really, become the people that we want to become, right? To really reach that self-actualization, that emotional evolution that we're seeking, right? And so
true. And if I may just add, it could be in this case, in your story, we're going to talk about trauma, but it can also just be patterns. And I noticed that I talk a lot with my hands. If somebody tied my hands, I wouldn't be able to talk.
I love it.
So patterns, relationship patterns. I know one of the patterns that I downloaded from my mom was like being the victim, and then the relationship with men patterns, things like that I didn't realize until, really in my late 30s. So, years ago now. But I kept, it's like, so whatever you think, it's like, why am I so much like this? How come I keep doing this? Why does this keep happening to me, right? Or why do I feel this? And so when you start feeling these questions, is that a way that you can say that we can start making kind of the connections, like like what happened to me, or how did I live? What did I learn from my parents? They were doing the best they could.
Yes. And I love that you brought that up. And that's like a totally a topic for another day, right? Because it's a total different conversation. But yes, absolutely. Our generational patterns and generational healing is so important, such important work as well. Yes, absolutely. And so the reason also that it's so important for us to really do the inner child work, it's because, if we are going to love ourselves fully, we must go there and unpack all of that so we can really love our inner child, because that's part of us, right? So we can't love ourselves fully if we have all of this, wounded child that, I don't want to look in there, right? So definitely that's part of the work that we need to do. And I was not aware of that. This kind of happened, as I've been guided in my life.
So tell us. So tell us.
So shall we?
Tell us the story. However, whatever you want to share from what you shared in the book, and then how you connected with beginning your healing and how you started that healing process of healing your inner child.
Yes. Okay. So I grew up in a family, very loving family, but it was, surrounded with poverty. There was a lot of addiction, specifically alcoholism. I grew up a lot, around that. But I would say overall, I felt, it was a happy childhood. I was a happy child. And talking about generational patterns, I grew up a lot around, where women were not empowered. Women were just, they wouldn't work aside from home, right? They were home, taking care of kids and, doing everything at home, but didn't work outside, didn't have, training, things like that. And I had three brothers and I'm the only girl. And so I was daddy's little girl. I was always daddy's little girl. I was very close to my dad, and he always wanted a girl, right? And so I was it in his life. So when I was 11, he passed away, and that was, the biggest trauma of my life, right? And that's what I talk about in Trailblazers, of how that impacted me. But basically, what happened after that, I kind of went on this just survival mode. Like I didn't know how to deal with it. I did not want to deal with it. So basically, what I did was like, okay, let me repress all of this. I don't want to go there. I don't even want to talk about it. Don't even ask me if I have a dad, because I'm not going to talk to you about it. Like that type of so I never really processed, a lot of it. It was more like shock. And then it was like, okay, full survival mode. Like, okay, what now, right? What am I going to do now? And so my mom, of course, she went, like I mentioned, she had to rearrange her life, right? She didn't know how to drive. She had to learn how to drive. She had to get a job. And I am just so thankful for my mother that she, out of magic, I don't know, created magic and really, raised us four kids on her own, and really had to do everything, from learning to drive and everything like that. And so my safety and security, right, was completely shattered. And my sense of belonging, because I was very close to my dad, he was my person, right, again, completely shattered. So because I didn't know how to deal with that, I did the best thing. Like I dealt with it. My 11-year-old self dealt with it the best way she knew how, right? Which was repressing everything and let me just function. Like how do I become a functional person in the world, right? And so in my outside world, I was a very typical kid. Like I had friends. I had a lot of friends. I did well in school. I appeared happy. And I feel like I was, because I had just like repressed all of that, right? So that kind of like, that's how I coped. It helped me. And, I was a typical teenager. I did have a little bit of teenage rebellion in me. And I got to start, as a teenager, again, topic for another time, but as a teenager, I did start repeating some of the patterns. I got into heavy drinking and partying. And this was when I just, started hitting my teenage years, like 15 years old. Right. And luckily, again, story for another time, but I kind of got away from that, and I continued doing what I felt was going to help me survive in this world, which was, to me, was like going to school, continue school. I'm good at school, so I might as well do that, right? And I did. So I continued school, and I actually went off to college, which, I'm very grateful for. And I'm actually, I got my bachelor's and my master's degree in psychology. So I am trained in, clinical. I did some clinical therapy. I did some practice, there at the college. And it was actually really well. Like, I did really well in that. And my professors would send me clients, and, I really loved it. I really enjoyed that. And so I had, then I got married. I have children, so everything seemed great. Like, I loved it. Life was good, right? I did everything. I had the house, the husband, the 2.5 kids, the job, right? So, but in college, and I have to mention this because in college, this one professor that I had, his name is Jack Rowe. If he ever watches this video, I love you, and I'm forever grateful for him, right? Forever grateful for you, Dr. Rowe. He exposed me to kind of like the world of energy, right? Now, back then, like, I remember listening to you and Zion talking about last session, right? About like having this knowledge and meditating at a young age and things like that. I did not have that. Like, I was like, if I can't see it and I can't, experience it with my senses, it's not real. I'm here, like, give me the books, I'll read the books, and that's all, that's all I'm going to believe.
You had to see it and have the proof. And
yes, otherwise it was like, whatever, like, I'm not gonna, right? I don't believe in other stuff. So this professor really opened my eyes. Like, he taught me this technique called EFT. I don't know if people are familiar with it, let us know. But EFT, basically, it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping, is short for tapping. So basically what you do is you tap, like, there's certain meridians, like in spots, right, in your body.
Here.
Yes. And you basically tap and you move energy, right? It was the first time I heard about the concept of energy, and you move the energy, and like magic, whatever you're working on disappears. And it was one of those times that it was like a shift. Talk about a shift, like, in perception, right?
Your world was like, what?
Yes,
Like,
paradigm shift for sure.
This exists. So tell us what happened. You went on a workshop, and what were you able to do?
Yeah, I should have brought.
That's my favorite part.
That is your favorite part, and I didn't bring the tool. What did I do with it? I think I have it here. So anyway, yeah. So I go to this workshop, right? So, and my friend Hope, is she still on? Hope, remember this? We actually studied together, and we both know Dr. Rowe, and we both went to this energy conference. Okay, so it was this energy conference. My first time going. We went to Las Vegas because that's where they were having it, and Hope and I went along with another friend. And so, and this was a conference, this was an energy conference. So it was all about auras, and we can take a picture of you and read your aura, and, mind over matter. And so we went to this mind over matter and learned how to bend a spoon. And I was like, no way, like, what? Like, there's no way, right? So we go to this workshop, and sure enough, we learned how to bend a spoon. Like, everybody in the workshop, we were able to bend a spoon. And I'm talking about, like,
clarify, you weren't bending it, you were just holding it.
Okay, so what happens is that you hold a fork, and it's a fork that you can't physically bend. Like, it's a thick fork, right? Mm-hmm. So you hold a fork from both ends like this, right? And you focus all your energy on it. And it sounds crazy, but we did it. So you focus all your energy. I know, is Hope there? Hope. Tell him I'm not crazy. Tell him you remember this. Okay, so you hold the fork like that, and then you feel it wobbling like clay. You feel it like clay. So what you do when you feel that, then you just twist it, and then you twist it. Like, it's, yes.
So it's like clay.
Like a bow. Feels like clay. You twist it, and you bend it.
That is so
Isn't that
awesome.
awesome?
I want to
Like,
go through that.
talk about a paradigm shift, right? Like after that, it's like, what? Yes. Like I'm a believer now. Okay. So that planted the seed, right? Okay. So I was like, okay,
That was physical
everything
proof.
that I know, yes, that was physical proof. And then the tapping was kind of like physical too, because I'm like, okay, I'm doing this, and all of a sudden, like I'm getting rid of fear. Like I actually wrote my thesis, I wrote the book, and it was on fears. Let me see, I have it here. So this is my thesis from like when I was getting my master's there at the school. And it's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but
Bring it
it's on the
closer.
effects of
Bring it-
EFT.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
That
So
is- and that was like about 20 years ago or so.
yeah,
Early 2000.
2001, 19 years ago, almost 2 decades. Okay, so yes, so I actually did research on it because I was like, okay, this is like amazing, but like I can't even believe it, and I experienced it. Like, what? Like, how is this happening, right? So I did a research, and it was significant. Like everybody that I worked with, I did it on phobias. So basically, people had phobias of like snakes, and like they couldn't even like. And I would take them out there to the research. There was like a research facility that had rattlesnakes. We would go out there, we would be tapping, and then the person was like, okay, like I'm fine with it. Like I'm not scared of we did the same thing for heights. I would take them over there to the bleachers. Okay, let's go up there and let's go to, test this.
And
And they're
tap,
like,
tap,
no, I can't.
tap, tap, tap. And
And then they're like, oh, I feel okay. Like this worked. So it was like amazing, right?
that's
So
awesome.
that like just completely shifted. So here I am in my happy life, right? I'm a counselor. I have my family. I have my house. My job is secure. I mean, what else do I want, right? Like I'm living the life. Well, there was this like inner calling within me, like sending me like little messages, right? Like there's more. Like, girl, you got to connect. You got to connect to more. Like, like you're you know how to bend spoons. Like go do something like that, like something significant, right? Like something more, right?
Yeah, like there's got to be more to life than this, maybe? Was that kind
Yes.
of the feeling? Okay.
Yes, because again, like, yes, my life is awesome and great, but I want more. Like I've experienced bending forks. Like I've
a
experienced,
yearning.
yes, it was this yearning for like, there's gotta be more, like, more. My heart like wants more, more love, more activity, more action, more of everything, right? And I didn't know what that more was, so I just did the best that I knew how to do, which was study, right? So I kept studying. Okay, well then I must take more courses, and let me sign up for this, let me sign up for that, and then so I started working all the things, and then, well, long story short, right, we ended up in Christy's event together, right? And I don't know if
That was
our peeps here.
2.5 years. Yeah, Adam is
2.5.
here. Hey, Adam.
All right,
Adam.
Adam.
Adam wrote, "There is no spoon" from The Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes, they're here.
I have to show you the spoon in a little bit. Hopefully I have it
Thank you,
there.
everybody, for
Okay.
being here. We see you.
Yay, I'm so excited that they're all here. Okay,
So
well, let me
about
tell you.
2 years ago, when we
Yes.
connected to do intuition training with Christy
Yes.
Sheldon, what happened there?
So we're sitting there
we
with
met.
Christy Sheldon, right? And I know I was sitting with you and Zion, and I think Adam was with us as well. Well, it was on that one of the parts of the conference that Christy was doing like this long meditation, and I can't even tell you what it was or how it happened, but we were all in meditation.
You, I think.
You were sitting next to me, yes. I was in meditation. I was like, life is good. This is awesome. And all of a sudden, something comes within me, right? And I just start like crying, like, but it was the weirdest thing, because it wasn't like I was crying like, oh my gosh, I want to cry because I'm so sad. No, it was just like I'm just crying.
It was like somebody turned on the faucet and you were
yes.
just like dripping water.
Yes. I'm like, what in the world happened? Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I'm listening to. Like, what is going on, right? So I'm there sitting down next to you and probably Zion on my other side, right? And I'm just there like, I don't know what happened. And then finally I'm like, I think I need to get up, because like this water, like I'm probably have a puddle here, right? And I'm probably like all soaking. So it's like something guided me.
To get up.
Literally, like something got me up and just walked me. And so I'm walking over there. I don't even know what I'm doing, right? I just remember I ended up with tissue. And so here I am trying to clear myself. And then I ended up in front of this
Coaches
one of the coaches. There you go. One of the coaches that Christy had, right?
in the back of the room. Yeah.
In the back of the room. Yes, they were. And I had no idea. Like I said, somebody let me there and I just felt her. That's what happened. I felt her and I was like, I was here still crying, right? And I was like, I didn't want to leave the room because I was like trying to listen to Christy, right? I'm like, I don't want to miss this. But so this lady, oh my gosh, and what's her name? And I'm still connected with her.
I think I remember. I just don't remember her name. The one that's a doctor?
She is.
Or the one from Australia? Rebecca?
Yeah, Rebecca. There you go. Rebecca. Sorry, Rebecca. I love you.
Rebecca.
Yes, Rebecca. Rebecca, amazing, amazing, amazing. So she was there and I just felt her, right? But she was doing something like this, like help, like behind me. She wasn't touching me or anything, but like behind me, she was kind of like doing this, which later I learned, right? And there we learned that she was like facilitating, like helping me clear this energy, right?
Release.
But I was feeling like my throat was like choking and I just wanted to like, right? I just wanted to like release something, right? Well, it was the first time, long story short, I stayed there. Rebecca stayed there helping me. And it was all this grief that had started to come up. And it was just like she helped me release it. I just released it. And it was for the first time, like she really helped me like get connected and grounded to earth. And I just felt like so powerful. Like I felt like I grew. I felt powerful, but I felt so much love and peace. Like so much. I felt connected. Like I felt like I loved her. I loved the floor I was standing on. I loved everybody. I love Christy. I don't even know what you're saying over there, but I love you. Like it was just, it was beautiful, right? It was the first time I felt that safety and security to be able to open my heart and really just feel connected and feel supported, like supported from Mother Earth herself, right? And so we cleared energy like that. And I was like, whoa, like this is powerful. Like, how can this, like my whole lifetime of, decades of grief stuck there that I didn't even realize, like, well, I just got shoved in there, right? And here I am in front of like what, hundreds of people, thousands maybe, I don't even know. And
I think that was 500.
Okay, hundreds of people. And here I am like just clearing and feeling like amazing and loving of all these people. And it was just amazing. So, I mean, of course I knew like, okay, I have to continue this work. This is just, too powerful. Nothing that I've learned in my clinical work and all of that, of clearing that fast, that powerful, and being that connected, like, so of course, Esme and you and I signed up for her next intuition training, right? Mm-hmm. Which was a lot of fun as well. And so that's where it continued. But yeah, that was like the first time that I experienced that. And so I wanted to bring this up also for the topic of the inner child. So the inner child, if you're familiar with the chakra system, which I'm sure probably most of the people that are tuning in are familiar with that, or the energy systems of the body, right? The inner child, it really has to do with that first chakra, right?
The root,
chakra. The root, yes, the safety and security, right? The sense because of belonging.
Physically, we also shove it down, right? We shove
it down. Yes. And so how can we begin to work and heal the inner child? Well, that root chakra is our key. Like that's our starting point, because we have to, everything's stored there, right? And if we're not feeling safe and secure, and again, remember, like this is a lot of it is on the unconscious level. So it's not like I'm going around like, oh, I don't feel safe in this world. No, it's just like that feeling, right? So experiencing that, once you have that type of experience and it clicks and it connects, like, oh my gosh, like this is what safety feels like. This is what like love feels like, right? And of course we remember, I remember that moment took me back to like, okay, I remember this love, right? Like I hadn't given myself the opportunity because it was too painful to go there. It was too painful to go there that I had just forgotten about it. I had just, repressed it. And so
And that was the beginning of that healing of that wound.
Yes. And
From
that's why
when
this
you were
work,
11 years old.
yes. And that's why this work is so important, guys, to everybody that's listening, because you want to experience that, right? You want to really connect to that love, and your inner child has that key. Your inner child has that key to help you move into that space, right? And so healing that part of yourself, and again, it's a journey. It's a journey.
It's
And
not
I
a
have
one-time thing.
right. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, I'm healed, and yeah. No. It's been a journey, right? And I'm still processing, and like I said, I feel like that was the start of my grief process. Like I really started, healing that grief. And I have to say, with, because things are so, there's so much synchronicity, right? Going back to the calendar, today is actually my father's death anniversary. And we didn't even plan it this way, because usually you've been meeting with people on Saturdays, right? So I don't even know what happened that today,
No, it
this
was
week.
supposed to be Sunday, yeah. But I
Oh,
said,
okay. I thought,
we weren't sure if to do it this Sunday or next week.
uh-huh.
And then you were just following your guidance and you said, yeah, let's just do it
Yeah.
this Sunday.
Yes. I
I
was
was
like,
like,
oh,
okay,
yes. I
we
was like,
agreed.
oh,
And
wow.
then later you messaged me like,
Uh-huh.
great. But so let's talk about that. So we were talking, we connected last week, I guess, on the phone. And we talked about how, our topic, like what we could talk about. And so you said, well, in the book and the story, I talk about healing the wound and healing my inner child. And so it was obvious that was going to be the topic. But then at the same time, how your dad, after in the past 2 years, with all this healing and all this processing that you have been doing, not that you didn't think of him or love him or miss him, all this time, but it was more like now you feel that he's more of a guide, right? And so he's showing up, he's showing up in ways that are fun and whimsical, and it's just like kind of like silly ways that make you think like, oh, my dad is around me, he's sending me little messages.
Yes.
So tell us what's your dad's symbol, and why is that kind of a fun way of connecting with your
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, and first, let me tell you, because I forgot to mention, like before the Christie event, right? So about probably like 6 years ago, I had this spiritual experience, and I feel that also helped me like dive even deeper and start, seeking even more this type of work. But I had this experience. I was actually learning about the Silva method, which is like, oh my gosh, right? It's, yeah.
Amazing.
So anyways, yes. So the Silva method, I was learning about it, and I was in a meditation, right? And all of a sudden, like I heard my dad, I made this connection with him, and I heard him tell me, like, I've been with you all along, right? And it was like, again, it was like this, such a powerful experience, because first of all, my dad didn't even speak English, right? So it was like, what? Like, what am I hearing? And I knew it was him. So it was really like the energy. It
Right.
was his energy. And I mean, without a doubt, I knew it was him, right? And it was like that. I feel like that was the start of like the healing process, right? Like, what? Like you're not gone, right? Like all my life, I felt like, okay, well, he died. He's somewhere. I mean, I guess that's it. I'm disconnected from him. I'm missing something. Those are the conclusions that my little inner child came up with, right? That I had to heal. And now I know about it. But again, they were in my subconscious mind. I was not aware of them. But that's how I had felt, right? And so, no, this was the first indicator that it's like, no, like, I'm not gone. Like, I'm here. Like, and I've been with you all along. So that kind of, again, another paradigm shift in my mind, right? So I started, of course, studying more, and now seeing so many synchronicities happening. And so the story with him coming through, I was doing some healing, because I will mention that I've had mentors, and I feel very blessed with the mentors that I've had. Like, I've done a lot of work within the past few years, right? Christy's event was the start of it. So she's, one of the main ones that kind of got me started on this road. But after her, like, I've had actual mentors that I work with one-to-one, because I feel like that is a critical piece that people need to know. Like, you really need to have somebody that can help you through the process. Like, this is not something that you can, I'm not saying that you can't do it on your own. I'm all about empowering people, and I've done a lot of work on my own. But when you have that someone, that mentor, like, I mean, things are just like Rebecca facilitated for me that shift. Like, I probably could have processed it on my own. I was processing on my own, but she helped me so much, right? So
Yes.
anyways, so it's like having your BFF, right, helping you. Or do you want to do it on your own? No, like, I wanted my BFF there with me, right? Okay, so anyway, so I was working with this other mentor friend of mine. Hold on, sorry. I was like, oh, I want to see who's tuning in.
Yeah, let me say hi.
Yeah, say hi, because I'm trying to see.
Olivia was saying it's an intimate experience about the healing process. Elizabeth is here. Adam, Anisha, thank you guys. They some of them have had sessions with me, so they're just saying how the sessions helped. And I've had sessions with you, and we practiced together. So
we practiced.
Amazing. Zion is saying it's a beautiful story. Heather Neary is saying hi.
Oh, Heather, she's one of my BFF mentors. I love you, Heather.
She's here. Well, thank you guys for being here. Yeah. We're talking with Martha, and she's telling us about her healing journey, how she healed her inner child, and how the process has helped her to connect with her calling and to help others. As an energy worker, and with using all of the tools. We're going to have to do another show about all the other stuff, because it's just too much to talk about. I think we have about 20 more minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you're looking at the time.
So let me expedite things here. So Mariana, I just want to give a shout out to Mariana, because I know if she's not watching, she's going to be watching later. Mariana Belsuns or something like that. I'm sorry, Mariana, I probably chopped off your last name, but she is also amazing. She's also trained under Christy, and of course other modalities. Well, we were having a session one time, and my dad came through, and She was like, oh, like, she's awesome, amazing healer as well. So my dad comes through, right? And I'm like, we both recognize the energy. And so, and she told me, she helped me through this. She said, you're very connected to your dad, which I knew, right? And she said, but did you know that you can find, like, why don't you look for a symbol like, you can agree with your dad, and that he can send you this symbol, and you'll know without a doubt that, he's around you, he's guiding you. And I was like, okay, yes, the symbol, the pineapple. The story of the pineapple is that my dad and I, we used to go, well, my whole family, right? We used to go to the park every weekend. And it was in Mexico. And so in Mexico, the vendors, like the street vendors, are very popular, right? Or they used to be very popular back then. And so we used to go to the park, and my dad and I would always walk. We would just, go walking by ourselves, and we would go to the vendor they were selling fruits, right? And my favorite fruit was always pineapple. So he would buy me a pineapple, and that was our little thing. Every weekend we would go, we be walking to the vendor, he buys me the pineapple, right? We would walk together back to, with our family. So I was like, okay, the pineapple. So Mariana's like, girl, he says get ready because the pineapples are coming. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it was like a funny thing, right? And it was like awesome. I was like, well, I'm ready. Like, yes, bring him on. Well, the pineapples have been coming and they don't stop coming. And even you've experienced it now, right? It's
Yes.
awesome. I have things here around my desk. Like I literally just, and I posted about this because I got this beautiful little envelope of pineapples from this person.
Somebody
Beautiful.
that knows nothing about this, and they just
Nope.
sent you something, and they happen to choose.
Christy, thank you. Yes. She just happened to send it to me. And she happened to send it to a lot of my friends, and everybody got different things like flamingos, somebody got umbrellas, and of course I get pineapples, right? And I see it and it's like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And it was funny because this morning, or not this morning, the other day, I was like, I was in my dresser and I ran into this little card, and of course it has pineapples on him, right? Somebody had given me, this was a Miss Kim Cruz, if you're seeing, Miss Sanchez, my librarian, beautiful card that she gave me at the end of the year, pineapple. And so pineapples are everywhere, right? And so that's a symbol that I have for my dad.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. And so, and that brings that happiness, you know, something that you didn't even think of when you were 11. So that's really helping you heal and connect with that inner guidance that, you know, which was your dad. Your dad was your guide. He was that source of security, of love, of, you know, just all these wonderful things that the connection that we feel with our dads and with our parents. And so obviously to lose them the way you did, but here you are, it's like he's still around you and he's sending you pineapples.
Yes. And it's beautiful because like literally every time that I go to any spiritual thing, you know, whether it be a retreat or anything, somebody's wearing a pineapple, somebody has a pineapple bag. There's, you know, we're eating on pineapple trays, right, Heather? Like just randomly, like pineapples appear. So it's beautiful. Yes. I keep getting my reminders, my pineapples everywhere. And even you got pineapples, right, on your inbox. And you send it.
No, I saw on Instagram, I saw something like a meme with a pineapple, and it said something like, you know, be like a pineapple, you know, like
stand tall, wear
your crown or something. So and it said, tag a friend that needs to hear this message. So I tagged you. Let me say hi. So you have Stella saying hi.
Hi.
Stella Hinojosa.
Hi, Stella.
Nat is here. Heather Neary is saying,
hey, Nat.
Ricardo Salas. Adam is here. Kim Sanchez. So hi, thank you everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for being here. So Martha has been telling us her story, what's in the book that we co-wrote actually. And so she's telling us the story that she shared about how she began the healing of that inner child wound. Oh, and people are sending you pineapples.
Oh, I love
it. Dinora is saying hi. Hola.
Hi, Dinora.
And so
I'm gonna see it.
So I want to make sure that before we get closer to the end, so in your experience, or you know, what steps can we tell our friends that are watching live or later in the replay? You know, because we want to give some guidance and some tips. And so, what were some steps that you can maybe share on how to heal our inner child? How does that look? What steps can we take towards that?
Yes. So definitely the first thing I would say is intention. Intention, if you have the intention that, you know what, this is what I want, this is what I'm after, then you're, you know, halfway there, because your intention is everything. Your intention is your point of where you're going. So intention, definitely. So you can make the decision that this is what I want. And basically what it is, when you're connecting to your inner child, it's that part of you. It's like you're talking to your child. Like for those of you that are parents, that you have a child, you know, and even if you're not a parent, think about talking to a 6-year-old, you know, a 7-year-old, you know, everybody wants the same thing, right? All children want to be loved. They want to be nurtured. They want to be seen, right? They want to be honored, given a voice. And so you start with that. Like you literally do that with yourself. You know, I had to go to that part of myself that I knew how much it was hurting, and I had to honor her, and I had to face that and help her process that emotion, right? And it's really they call it, you know, there's a term for it, they call it reparenting. You kind of reparent, right? So you have this awareness and consciousness as a parent now, right, as an adult, and you're reparenting that part of yourself that is still a child, because remember, it's that part of yourself that got frozen in time. Like it's your 6, 7, 8, 11-year old, you know, whatever the case may be for you, but it's that child. It's a child. So you have to start by honoring them. And I wanted to bring up the root chakra because that's basically what it is, right? Or where it lives, right? And so what we want to do is you want to do anything that has to do like root chakra work. So a lot of some of the things that, and you know what, I forgot, I was going to give some ideas on like oils and stuff like that. So one of the things that my journey, oils, essential oils have been like a huge part of that, because they're a tool that's simple yet so powerful as well, and can help you process a lot of emotion. At least that was my experience with oil. So using different oils that are grounding, such as like balance oil, like anything that's grounding, like sandalwood, you know, all the like trees and roots, oils that are roots and trees, all of those are very healing for that, very healing for, you can and if you need oils, both Esme and I, you can contact either one of us and we can guide you and help you to get high quality oils. I'm just going to mention this quick little thing because I am an essential oil educator, and the essential oils that you find in the stores, like HEB, stuff like that, they're not the same quality oil that you could find from a company that is actually, you know, high quality oil. So we use doTERRA, that's our favorite, but feel free to contact us if you need any support with that.
I think we can do a whole show on oils. I mean,
oh yeah, that's another show.
I've used up my lavender and
yes.
But yeah, so I think we're gonna have to do another separate show on essential oil.
And let me just mention something, because I'm glad that, and Heather, you actually told me about the ylang ylang. Where is it? Right there.
Yeah.
Ylang. Okay. I have been very drawn to this oil lately, and I love it, and it smells delicious, and it's beautiful oil. Well, I looked it up today, and lo and behold, of course, it's the oil of the inner child.
Oh,
literally,
wow.
That's what it is, like the oil of the inner child.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
so
amazing.
There's the ylang ylang. You can start with that as well. And also crystals that are very grounding. You can look at that as well. Black tourmaline, like what I'm wearing, is very grounding crystal. Obsidian is another one that's really grounding. The red crystals, like what is this? Carnelian.
Carnelian, yeah.
Carnelian. So all of those root chakra stones, gemstones, and then the essential oils, all of those will help as well.
And I use crystals too, so you can lay on your bed and put them, you know, in your lower abdomen, or like right, you know, like on your, basically your crotch area if you're laying down. And just, you know, or your lower belly, wherever it'll stay, and just put it there, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, and just, you know, just set the intention for that crystal to absorb and to help you heal that area. Like, it's just as simple as that. It doesn't have to go a lot further, but yeah, like I have like my amethyst. I like the soft, rounded stones, and so I usually, if I'm laying in bed, I'll put it on my forehead, or I'll just stick it here on my chest, you know, if I'm laying down, and that helps calm too. So beautiful. Like I said, I think we can do a whole another hour show on that. Okay, so
on tools to use. Yeah,
and to heal the inner child. So let me just kind of rephrase. So you said to set the intention that you do want to heal, you know, reparent and honor that child. And especially if you have a specific event, right, that you know is the main cause for a lot of your issues. So if you know an event and you know when that happened, like in your case at 11, and you know the exact event, so then you can focus on that, right, and just kind of tune in, and then using tools like oils and crystals. And what are some other steps towards healing?
Yes, I was going to mention also, like, if you're not sure, like, okay, I didn't have a traumatic event, there's nothing that I can really pinpoint. Well, sometimes you get clues, right? When there's emotion that's tied to something that it doesn't make any sense, right? Like that, like literally like a childlike type of emotion, right? Like I'm feeling, I don't know, I'm getting triggered. I'm having this anger over, whatever, a dirty kitchen, or, I'm having, my mother is triggering me, every time I see her, or my father is, or my sibling, or, things like that kind of like don't make sense. Like, why am I feeling like this? Like, I love this person, but yet I'm getting triggered.
Am I really that mad about the kitchen? Is it really the kitchen?
Exactly.
Or what's the root cause is the words that we use, like connect to that root cause.
So that's your clue.
Bringing that up.
Yes, that's your clue that, okay, this is something that doesn't make sense. Like, and it's important. Okay, it's very important to not go into judgment. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm having those feelings toward my mother or towards my sibling. Like, I'm horrible. No, like, remember, we're going back, healing the inner child. You're healing yourself at the age of 6, 7, 8. Like, you were little, like you didn't have the awareness you have now, right? And so now that you have the awareness that you have to help that inner child part of you that's, remember, frozen in time. They don't have that part of you, doesn't have the awareness you have right now. So you have to help. And again, remember that it's a part of you, but it's you. It's still you. So you have to integrate, right? So the main goal is to integrate, right? To be able to have your inner child, in your heart, with an open heart, to be able to work with that inner child and fully step into that, self-love, right, of the inner child without judgment. So that's very important. So if you find yourself, that's another clue. If you find yourself judging yourself, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm having this feeling or something. Okay, that's another clue. Let's dig deeper. Let's see what's going on. What is the cause? What's the root? Where is this coming from?
That is so true. And some of the most amazing sessions I've had with clients or friends, it's when somehow we connect to where the root cause, and either in the session I was able to tell them what the root cause was and they didn't know, which is amazing. Like it's still, it's like, how did I know that? But for me, it's like, like, I don't know for you, how do you see it? But for me, it's like a movie. It's like I'm watching a movie. I just ask what happened. Let's say, what happened to Martha at age 2? Like, how come I'm thinking age 2? And then it's like, sometimes like I see a movie and so then I explain what I saw, let's say, just pretend like I saw, getting like, physically abused or beat up, or, you're getting chancla because you didn't. and then I see other things, right? So it's like your higher self is showing me. And let's say you forgot about that. And then I'm like, well, this and this was happening. And it's like, well, that makes sense, because I remember as I got older, my siblings, they were getting spanked a lot, like, not just a little spanking, but like very abusive type of stuff. But also there's so in the session to heal that, I like going back and having a conversation with that little child. And it's amazing. It's like that when we make that connection, it's it's very healing. It's an opening process.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And the funny thing is, or the wonderful thing is, that once you shine the light on what it is, and sometimes, I'm working with like the worst of the worst emotions, right? Like shame, and you're shining the light on that shame, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, like there's nothing to be ashamed of, like, so you just, it's really honoring that part of yourself. Okay, and whatever it, when you were in first grade and you felt shame because you couldn't speak the language, or whatever the case is, right? And honoring that part of yourself, and really showing that part of yourself respect, and not judging, right? Not judging, not criticizing, but showing that part of you respect and honoring. Then it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay now. Like, it's truly like magic. It really is like magic. It's like you shine the light on it, and then it's like, poof, okay, we're good. And
And
it's
it can be that,
powerful work.
yeah, it can be that easy if the person is willing to fully let go and accept that. Or sometimes you need
Yes.
more processes. But it really is
Mhm.
just a decision, right? It's like
Yes.
I don't want this. And sometimes we hang on to this pain or that wound
Mhm.
because we're so comfortable with it, right?
Yes. It's our safety. It's safe for us. And and I'm glad you're bringing this up, because that's the thing about the inner child. The inner child, they've been through the trauma. They've been through whatever they've been through. So they
Yeah.
don't want to go back there. It's like, that's it. Like, I'm going to protect myself, right? And so they don't want to go there. So it's up to you to help them. When you shine the light, it's like a little child. It's
Like,
like,
look, there's
oh, you're
nothing to be
scared of the
scared of.
dark. There's nothing. Let me turn on the light. Like, there's nothing. It's okay. But you give them that love and that nurturance and that acceptance. You don't judge them like, oh, can't believe you were afraid. Like, there's nothing. Like, so just honoring your child, being there and loving your child. And yeah, it's powerful work. It's exciting. It gets me so excited.
I know, and I know that we can keep talking for another hour.
Another day.
Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing your story and how you went through it. And definitely, I love the pineapples because that's just a fun reminder that we are all energy and that we're all interconnected, and that even though our physical body,
Hmm.
will cease to exist, you know, our loved ones can become guides and angels in our
Yes.
lives, and they send us little messages and reminders, like for your dad, he
Hmm.
sends you pineapples, and it just makes you smile, and it can also help you confirm, like, I'm supported, I'm not alone, I'm
Yes. I'm
right now.
connected. Yes. I
And
belong. I have my team.
yes, that's
Yes.
amazing. And so I love this talk, and I know that there's just so much to share about this, and so yeah, I appreciate your input, for everybody, because that's really what I want these soul talks to be about. I mean,
Hmm.
there's so many teachers out there, and we listen to them all. And actually, um, I saw a quote. I think I sent it to you from Deepak Chopra. It was about, let me find it. I have so many images. Okay, so a quote from Deepak Chopra related to this, right? So it says, "You must learn to get in touch with the innermost essence of your being. This true essence is beyond the ego. It is
Hmm.
fearless, it is free, it is immune to criticism. It does not fear any challenge. It is beneath no one, superior to no one, and full of magic, mystery, and enchantment."
Mm.
Deepak Chopra. And so, really, our inner child is also it. I mean, we can have that traumatic event where time froze and we have that trauma, but also our inner child, like you said earlier, also holds that key to that
Hmm.
joy and that happiness. And so we can also focus on what did I want to do when I was a child? How do I want to enjoy life, and
Mm-hmm.
who am I really? It's like, what is that joy? And if we connect to that innermost part of us,
Mm-hmm.
that's who we really are.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, and that was one of the things in my personal experience. Like, I literally had to go back to that child before my dad's passing. Like, how did that child love before,
Mhm.
right? Like, that child with an open heart and just, carefree and feeling so secure in the world, right? Because I had my dad with me at that time. So tapping into that, I mean, transforms you. It's like you, again, that's who you are, right? So you just
Yes.
bring that to the forefront, you embody that, right? That's what I was going to mention also, because I think it's important for people to know that, um like, in my approach, right, to healing, it's very holistic. So as we know, everything is connected, right? So yes, you have to work with the mind, right? And the mind, and I call it the BS, right? The belief systems that we have, right?
Yes.
And the other BS. But yes, so we work with the mind, right? And of course, spirit is the, you know biggest component, because we are spirit, right? That's who we are. And so we want to tap into that, right? And we want to embody that. So we do our work like that with the energy alchemy work, right? Transmuting energy and working with that part of ourselves. But very important, what I'm working currently on my journey this year specifically, is on really working on the embodiment part, right? On our body. Because everything, all our emotions, right? Yes, they're in our energetic, right, body, but they're also in our physical body. So working with doing body work is very helpful as well. So another tool, for people to really uh, look at is using your body, movement work, yoga, dance, anything that really, whatever you're drawn to, right? But breath work, even, work like massage and chiropractic work, like all of that, like you're moving, everything, you're moving energy. So that helps a lot as well. So that component, I feel, is super important. And like I said, just in this recent year, this current year, I've really embraced that, and I'm really working towards, more embodiment of it. So
Very good.
having everything together. Yes.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, our nutrition,
Yes.
our water intake, our
Yes.
sleep, our exercise routine. I mean, it's all part of our wellness.
Hmm.
And so, wow, we've talked over an hour, and I want to thank so much. Thank you for all your wisdom and everything that you've shared. And I want to thank everybody that has been here live, and appreciate all your comments. And let me share my screen again before we say one final goodbye.
We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We
Let me,
feel your energy. I can't wait to go back and look at the comments because I couldn't keep up.
yeah, let me try to share my screen again, in case you want to connect with us. Oops, I didn't do it right. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this. If I have two monitors, it would be easier.
There you go. The
Is it sharing?
intention.
Is it sharing?
Universe. Esme needs another monitor.
Yeah, let me share the right screen. So if you guys want to connect with us, here's Martha's info. Let me make it bigger. Again, Martha is a life coach. She's also an energy worker, healer. You can find her on Facebook, on Instagram, and she has her website. And then there's my contact info. You can subscribe, follow me on my YouTube channel, Happy Soul Evolution. And we're just so thankful, excited, that we're able to just, have these talks where where, you know, we're just helping each other, sharing what we've been through.
Mm.
And we just love you guys so much, and thank you for being here. And again, just so much, thank you so much, Martha. I think we're gonna have to do another show and discuss all the other things.
Beautiful, Esme, and you know you're amazing at what you're doing, and you are a true connector. You connect people, and you know I feel very blessed to be a part of your life, to have connected with you 2 years ago, and to be part of your circles, and you're very dear to me. So I really appreciate it. It was an honor to have the soul talk with you, and it's always so much fun to connect.
Oh, thank you, Martha. You know, I love you too, and so appreciate you. And thank you guys for being here. Love you.
Thank
Till
you,
the next
guys.
time. Bye.
Bye.